fix that, don't I, before I can go on here? Yeah. There we go. All right. Now, Kwan has it all worked out. Come over here. I want them to hear what you say.
Shirking my adult responsibilities and having a lazy couch day reminds me of faking sick to stay home from school when I was a kid. The OG of staycation several years before the term was coined. I'd happily spend my mornings watching other people win real vacations on The Price is Right. Puerto Vallarta, Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Zihuatanejo, Cabo San Lucas, Mexico City. I wonder where the locals go to vacation.
You win with 15 cents. You're going to be in the showcase at the end of the show. We'll be back after this.
Queretaro. Go for a car ride? Buenos dias, amigos. This week we decided to go where the locals go. Wine and cheese country. We're fitting in the best we can in beautiful Tequisquiapan. Just like that inevitable awkward handshake from that friend you're not really friends with, here's the part of the video where we ask you to give us a like, toss us a comment below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Tequisquiapan, or Tequis, as it's known by the locals and by me for the rest of this video, is a Pueblos Mágicos, or magical town, located in the state of Queretaro. It's a destination for local tourism that frequently welcomes crowds of Mexico City, Queretaro City, and San Luis Potosi residents due to its proximity. So how do you get here? Well, if you're traveling from Mexico City, it's a 2.5-hour drive northwest. You'll head up the 57D, which is a toll road, and it'll cost you about 360 pesos in tolls one way. If you're coming from Queretaro City, it's a short 1-hour drive east through Queretaro's vineyards, and there's no tolls. Check out Toll Guru for budgeting your trips by car. I'll leave a link in the description below. Once you arrive, you'll find that there is some free street parking and plenty of paid parking lots to choose from that are all reasonably priced. About 60 pesos for the afternoon, or 4 Canadian or 3 US. If, like me, you're not a fan of huge crowds and traffic, I'd suggest you plan your visit between Tuesday and Friday when everything's open but still relatively quiet. Considered a colonial town, Tequis was founded in the mid-18th century during the Spanish colonial era and still retains many of its colonial era buildings and structures. Additionally, the town's layout with its central plaza, grid pattern, and narrow streets are also attributed to its colonial heritage, adding to its charm and conjuring nostalgia for a romantic and fabled past. Tequis has a proud culture that is deeply rooted in its indigenous heritage. The town is famous for its colorful handicrafts, which include pottery, woven baskets, and textiles. Many of these handicrafts are made using traditional techniques that have been passed down through generations. If you're in the market for authentic textiles or woven souvenirs, you're spoiled for choice. The town is frequented for its celebrations, which take place throughout the year. One of the most famous festivals is the Fiesta de la Vendimia, or Harvest Festival, which is usually celebrated in early August, typically during the first or second weekend of the month. It's a celebration of the grape harvest, and it includes wine tastings, food, live music and dancing, and other cultural events. The exact dates may vary from year to year, so it's a good idea to check the local events calendar or contact the local tourism office to confirm the dates if you're planning to attend. Another important attraction in Tequis is the Museum of Indigenous Cultures, which houses the collection of artifacts and exhibits that celebrate the town's indigenous heritage. There's a lot to see here. One of the most popular attractions is the Jardín Principal, which is the town's center square, or El Centro. The square is surrounded by beautiful colonial buildings, and it's a great place to relax and soak up the atmosphere. El Centro is also a great place for the kids to beg you for ice cream. So what's Mexican Spanish for? Maybe at some point. We'll see.
Can you say ahorita?
If you like to geek out on architecture, or your kids are driving you nuts and you need spiritual reflection, I found that the parish of Santa Maria de la Asunción is a must visit. This beautiful church was built in the 18th century and is one of the finest examples of Baroque architecture in the state of Queretaro. A few blocks east of El Centro is Jardín Principal Los Claustros, which is a beautiful residential area. It's about time we stop for a bite. And no visit to Tequis would be complete without imbibing in the area's famous wines and cheeses. There's tons of restaurants here, and every one we've tried has had great service and a cool vibe. Regardless of your travel budget, almost all the restaurants and cantinas here source local cheeses for their dishes. And there's plenty of artisanal cheese shops to browse as well. Joanne and I really liked everything we sampled. Nothing was too sharp, and there's lots of great flavors to choose from. My favorite was the ahumado, or smoked Gouda. And for the discerning winos, I haven't forgotten about you. You can enjoy wine tastings and tours at several local vineyards in the surrounding area. I've added links in the description below for you. Virtually every licensed establishment in town has a whole hockey sock full of regional wines to choose from if grapes are your jam. The novel The Friends of Meager Fortune by David Adams Richards, about a group of Canadian miners who traveled to Mexico in the early 1900s to try their luck in the mining industry, draws obvious parallels to my own life's ambitions and tribulations. As my family and I wander the cobble streets, I find myself inspired, moved even, by a poignant passage from the book. Tequisquiapan was one of the most beautiful places he had ever seen. The light was soft and the colors were warm. The buildings were old and elegant, with graceful arches and balconies adorned with flowers. The streets were narrow and winding, with whitewashed walls and colorful tiles. The smell of cooking tortillas and roasting meats filled the air, and the sound of music and laughter echoed through the streets. In Tequisquiapan, time seemed to slow down. The pace of life was leisurely, and the people took time to enjoy the simple pleasures of good food, good company, and beautiful surroundings. This accurately reflects our experience. Here it's bird songs, not buses. Sizzling meats, not exhaust fumes. Stone masonry and ironwork, not plastic and glass. There's an appreciation for tradition here that seems to hang in the air. You breathe it in. It's not optional. Hey, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Toss us a comment. Subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our misadventures through Mexico. Hasta luego, amigos.